welcome to AFRICUNIA TV, coming to you from the studio here in Lagos, Nigeria, the commercial capital. I am Deborah Ezeh. Welcome to the news update. We begin from Nigeria, where Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike yesterday came out of the shadows to declare for the presidency, saying he has the capacity to win the 2023 presidential election for the People's Democratic Party (PDP). This is coming days after former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, declared his presidential ambition, joining former Vice President Atiku, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, ex-Senate President Ayimpayo Sayin, Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, and his Bauchi State counterpart Bala Muhammad in the race to fly the flag of the main opposition party's tickets next year. Wike made a declaration during a consultative meeting with stakeholders of the Benue chapter of the PDP at the government house in Makurdi. The governor, who intimated stakeholders about his intention to run for the nation's #1 office, solicited for Benue PDP votes in the coming nations or national delegate convention of the party, even as he stressed on zoning. Apparently taking a dig at Atiku and Saraki, Wike added that some of the aspirants left the party when it mattered most, noting that those founding fathers who ran away from the party and still wanted to be so recognized have lost their shares. And still in Nigeria, the All Progressives Congress will tomorrow, Tuesday, inaugurate an appeal committee to address any disagreements arising from its national convention. The APC adopted the consensus method to elect 77 party leaders on Sunday, out of which 21 will be members of the National Working Committee. The APC governors compiled a list of candidates for all positions and subsequently mandated all those whose names were not on the list to step down in line with the wishes of the President Muhammad Buhari. The party promised to refund the money that the aspirants who stepped down spent on purchasing forms. However, a few aspirants refused and opted for elections instead. Adamu, who headed the party reconciliation subcommittee before taking up his new position, said the opposition People's Democratic Party must be sad over the successful convention. Meanwhile, heavily armed men attacked the airport in Kaduna, a major city in northwestern Nigeria, killing a security guard and temporarily halting air traffic. The attack was repelled by security forces, Kaduna State Security Commissioner Samuel Aruwan said on Twitter. This is the latest violence blamed on gangs known locally as bandits, who plague the northwest and central parts of Africa's most populous country, where they loot, kidnap and kill residents. Flights which were interrupted during the attack resumed shortly afterwards, according to the authorities. And now we head to Burkina Faso, where a coalition of Burkina Faso civil society organizations composed of more than 72 members held a rally to call for the termination of military cooperation with France. The coalition called on the new Burkina Faso authority to end French military cooperation in favor of Russian support to curb terrorism. The Faso Lagam Tabazaka coalition, which brings together several civil society organizations, according to its leaders, was created in the aftermath of the January 24th coup against President Roch Christian Kabore. And still on the African scene, several hundred Nigerian migrants who were begging in the streets of Dhaka and whose situation was revealed by television reports were repatriated to their country in the night of Friday to Saturday. The flight chartered by the Nigerian government with 580 people, including many children, arrived at 1:20 at Niamey Airport. About 335 migrants were present on Friday evening at their site, and among the migrants were babies and elderly people. A message taken up by the Minister of Interior on Saturday says it is not poverty that's at the root of this phenomenon, but organized mafia networks that traffic and smuggle these people. End of quote. And away from the African scene onto the foreign scene, 2 Arab gunmen killed 2 police officers on a city street in Israel on Sunday and were then shot dead as the U.S. Secretary of State and 3 Arab foreign ministers visited the country for a summit. Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack in a statement posted on its Telegram account. The 2 assailants in Deborah, a city about 50 kilometers north of Tel Aviv, were Arab citizens of Israel and sympathizers of the group, Israeli security confirmed. The attack occurred 5 days after an Arab from southern Israel killed at least 4 Israelites in a stabbing and car ramming spree in the city of Beersheba before he was fatally shot by a passerby. And moving on, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will test for COVID-19 after having met Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett in Jerusalem the previous day, a State Department spokesperson said. Bennett is isolating at home after testing positive for COVID-19, his office also said on Monday. Upon learning of Prime Minister Bennett's positive test results, we determined that only Secretary Blinken is considered a close contact. It will follow all CDC guidance, including by masking and undergoing appropriate testing, spokesperson Ned Price said. And still on the foreign scene, the United Nations Security Council has expressed deep concerns over a decision by Afghanistan's Taliban rulers to deny girls access to high school education and called on the group to reopen schools for female students without delay. Last week, the Taliban backtracked on an announcement that high schools would open for girls, saying they would remain closed until a plan was drawn up in accordance with Islamic law for them to reopen. The United States abruptly cancelled meetings with the Taliban in Doha that were set to address key economic issues because of the decision. And moving on, China's financial hub of Shanghai launched a two-stage lockdown of its 26 million people on Monday, closing bridges and tunnels and restricting highway traffic in a scramble to contain surging COVID-19 cases. The snap lockdown announced by Shanghai city government on Sunday will split the city into two roughly along the Huangpu River for 9 days to allow for staggered testing. It is the biggest COVID-related disruption to hit the city. A record 3,450 symptomatic COVID cases were reported in Shanghai on Sunday, accounting for nearly 70% of the nationwide total, along with 50 symptomatic cases. And now we head to the sports scene, where the 4 contenders vying to buy Chelsea will submit final bids on April 11th, paving the way for a prospective new owner to seek government permission to take over from Roman Abramovich by the end of next month. Bidders, who include several U.S. sports franchise-owning billionaires, will have the opportunity to improve their offer from the indicated proposal, which saw them make it through to the final stage of one of the most extraordinary corporate auctions of recent times. And finally, Nigeria's under-20 girls, Falconets, yesterday in Benin City, earned a ticket to the 2022 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup after a comfortable 4-1 win over their counterparts from Senegal for a 7-2 aggregate victory. The result sends the Falconets straight to the World Cup holding August between 10 to 28 in Costa Rica, and is a positive development just 72 hours before the Super Eagles go big for the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup ticket against the Black Stars of Ghana in Abuja. The Eagles and the Black Stars ended the first leg accounting 0-0 at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi on Friday evening, with a return starting at 6 p.m. inside the Moshood Abiola Stadium on Tuesday. And it's a wrap on news updates on AFRICUNIA television. Remember to stay connected and updated, to follow all our social media platforms on Jointo and Pangram, Instagram and Facebook respectively. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our news and other programs. My name is Deborah Ezeh. Bye for now.